this 5 minutos, or at least until my moderators come in. And then we will get started because I did not forget. We do. Why did you just turn on? Do. I think it's just best if we do that. We don't got anything going on until later. Oh, let me make sure that that's not in the way so I can see. There we go. That's better. All right, 44 minutes in. I'll give it some time. Hi, Yana Bean. I'm just waiting for Silly Billy to come in. I did not forget. We're going to make our live schedule first for not next week. But I'll get into that in a second. Getting into this in a second. Ooh, I usually get like 5 minutes for you and Silly Billy to come in because really y'all are the only two that's like actually keeping my live living. So once y'all come in, I get started. That's usually why I set the 5 minutes. Hold on, I gotta adjust a little bit so she don't fall. Hold on. There we go. No, it shouldn't fall. Hopefully it doesn't fall. We'll see. Do. You at work? You know what I mean? Or you at home? Yeah, home. Okay. Oh, you work? Essence don't work? You're not working today? Cool. Just giving until that time. She might not hop on today because it is Sunday and I know it's like kind of random, but yeah. I'm proud of myself though. I had written down so many. Oh my god, what the hell, girl? I'm forgetting that you be doing that. I had been writing down a couple of like live topics. So, oh right. Forgot about that. I forgot that it closes at 5 on Sundays. Do. But yeah, I'm gonna be setting up this schedule because I want to do it in a time where you and Silly Billy will be active, so that way I can be prepared because y'all be on it and done it. So making sure I do that. Also, I want to get I don't know how to get that feature. I don't know if you have to have a certain level of subscribers or what, but I definitely want to get the feature that's like the hype feature. I don't know if you've seen it on YouTube yet, but basically they're like literally hyping up different YouTube videos. But I've only seen it for big channels though, people who have like at least 100,000 subscribers. So, hi Mario. So we're gonna have to see how that goes from there. But yeah, so and I'm usually coming on the day that I usually don't come on. I usually don't come on Sundays. I think the last time I came on a Sunday was like a month ago. So she may pop in, she may not. We'll see. But yeah, I know that you get like notifications immediately. I've been getting notifications of my own lives like later in the day for some weird ass reason. Like I'd be like, why are you notifying me that I'm live? I'm already aware that I'm what? And then the live is already over. So why do I need notification that YouTube gonna do what YouTube does? Okay. Okay. We're just going to let me get this written down really quick. Get this pulled up. So our 5 minute mark is coming up, and then we'll just get started. So go from there. Oh, so I'm gonna cover like maybe. Yeah, I don't know why. For her, sometimes they just don't. Like you know how in the group chat she'll say like, "Oh, it's not popping up." I don't know why that is. Like, she'll like message in the group chat afterwards, like, "Oh my god, how did I miss that live? Like, I can't believe that I wasn't in it." I'm like, I don't know. I just hit 2,000, Mario, and I'm gonna get into that in a second as well, Liana. Because yeah. Okay, it's about to hit the 5 minute mark, so let's get into it. Let's get into it. And if you are a new viewer, you're watching, please like the live, guys, so I can get pushed more on YouTube's, so they know that I am active. And so the people who want to watch me, they can. Okay, so we're not going to be setting up a live schedule. Started off in the first few minutes. Thank you, Fred. Well, thanks, Mario. I appreciate you being a sub. So, first things first, actually, I hit 2,000 subscribers on YouTube. Woohoo! It has been a long time coming, but honestly, it's only this year that I finally solidified exactly what I want to do, and that's the reason why I am like starting to grow a little bit. So I'm very, very happy. 2,000 was a long time coming, and it's gonna be 20,000 soon. So woo, it's always just vote and just keep on going. I think you get a plaque at 10,000, but I can't exactly remember. But yeah, 10,000 coming very, 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 very soon. Maybe as long as we keep on posting, keep going, as long as y'all keep engaging with the content, like, commenting, sharing, we will get there eventually. So I'm very, very happy. Oh, there she is. Hi, Teddy Billy. Just sending out my happiness about reaching 2,000 subscribers, guys. I just want to say thank you for all the love and the support, liking the videos, sharing the videos, commenting on the videos. Y'all are the reason, or one of the reasons why I keep going. It is so, so, so incredibly important to me. This is my freaking dream. I hope to become a full-time YouTuber very soon in the near future because this is something that I'm really good at. It's my passion, and I hope to be able to soar to the skies. So that is why I'm super, super cheery, because I was like, oh my gosh, I hit 2,000 subscribers. I got the freaking notification. I was like, it's been so long. I have been on YouTube. For those who do not know, I have been on YouTube since 2017. I have changed my niche so many times. I have been inconsistent so many times. I've gone back and forth so many times. But this year or last year, I made a strong decision to make a change and take this career seriously and really like pay attention to what I want to do and really go for it. And that's what I've been doing all year. So yeah, I'm really happy to start finally seeing results. So I thank y'all so, so very, very much for all the love and support. Y'all are amazing. But let's get into this live schedule. So we're not going to be, I'm not going to be going live this week because it is holiday week. Okay. We got Thanksgiving coming up, Black Friday. I don't want y'all trying to rush over from a live, spend time with family, prepare, get prepped, all that extra stuff. So we're going to skip on over to next week, which is between the 30th and the 6th. So the 30th of November to the 6th of December. Hold on, I don't want to miss anything. I gotta watch your recent shorts. Yeah, so really go check them out. I got a few up there. I don't know how many you missed, but yeah, I got a few going. Thank you so much, Lily, for the congrats. You're in Italy. Is it 2 a.m. in the morning? Wow, that's crazy. Well, hopefully you get a good rest. I will stay up in today and I will watch you. Oh, thanks, Maria. I appreciate that. Um, so basically, we're gonna get started with this. So y'all honestly tell me what days, because honestly, I'm free right now. Anytime really after 5 o'clock, I can be on here. So what are we thinking about? So between the 30th through the 6th next week, what are we thinking about Wednesday or Friday? And what times? Is 7 o'clock a good time, or do y'all want me to start around like 6? Because this is kind of how I'm gonna just follow it for each week. I probably do like a little teeter totter. I feel like Wednesdays is like the best days for me personally. But what do y'all think? Because I kind of want to do it around y'all, especially my moderators, because y'all are the ones who keep my lives going and keep them clear, keep them, sane and whatnot and what have you. So, Mario, you thinking 6? I'm thinking 6 would be cool too. Wednesdays. But I want to get like my moderators' opinions because they're the ones who actually keep my lives from being what they shouldn't. Okay? And so, I mean, hopefully, one day I might have more so I wouldn't have to rely on them all the time because I know that sometimes they probably be sick of me, girl. Sick of all these dang things that be going on. Oh, well, I guess I gotta put the message out. If you're weird, if you're gonna be weird and say weird, cringy, boring, loser stuff, my moderators will get you out of here immediately. They are swift. Okay, you will be blocked with a swiftness. So if you like to stay in the live and not look like a pathetic loser, embarrassing yourself, please do not say anything weird in here. Uh, what's going on with your kid? What your kid doing, Billy? I'm so terrible with flags, Mario. Is that Italy? I'm so bad with flags. I literally the only flag that I know is Barbados, and that's because I had to do a project in eighth grade. Is the camera kind of blurry to y'all, or is that just me? Hold on. No, it's just me. I'm usually free Fridays, been off of Wednesdays work. Yeah, so I get 8, I guess. Okay. Oh, Bulgaria. Okay. Well, shoot. I'm so terrible with flags. That's a cool flag. I didn't even know that Bulgaria was his own country. I don't know why I thought it was something else. Um, he climbs everything and tries to jump off. I thought we right there. Like that's very tall. I love that. Oh my gosh. Is he a toddler? I don't know what's going on with small children. I think you know what it is. I always feel like small children are like the worst type of humans because they have all the audacity with like zero survival skills. So they will do the most outlandish, craziest things just because they do not understand. Oh hey, so if I do that, I won't be here with anybody else anymore. You know. Also, stay at home. I'm sorry pretty much all day. 5 is awesome. I'm school. You're fine. I appreciate that, Mario. Yeah, he's 19 months. See, look. 19 months, girl. You gotta glue him. You gonna have to go ahead and glue him. Just put him on the wall. Just as a matter of fact, you ever seen Home Alone? You know how they took him and hung up on the coat rack? That's what you gotta do. That's what you gotta do, Celia. You gotta just hang him on the coat rack. Just hang him on the coat rack and just be like, until my eyes can be glued to you, it is what it is. The first survival skills. Where are you gonna be like tomorrow? that's it. You gotta just hang them on the coat rack. Okay, so since you're free, okay, great. So then, well, I got 5, I got 8, I got 6. So I feel like, let me see, because sometimes I could run a little late when it comes down to work, but I think Wednesdays, are we all good with Wednesdays? Because I'll just make Wednesdays our dedicated live days. But with me having like a weekly live, unless I have to change the day, I would let y'all know in a post if I have to. Um, with me having to change it, y'all have to give me topics to discuss because sometimes I'm gonna go ahead and run out. I'm gonna run out. Literally, I actually wake up at 12. 12 at night or 12 p.m. Mario. Perfect. Okay, so Wednesdays, since we got an 8. I know Yana, you say you'll be at 8, but you usually be at work too. You'll just have like your headphone in. So PM. Oh, okay. So you like okay. So I don't know what time that is here though. This is America CDT's time. I think is what it's called. Central Standard Time or CST, whatever it is. Um, so Wednesdays is our dedicated day, but the timing is a little interesting because I know Yana do be at work. So I'll do because I know I can run a little late sometimes depending on what I'm doing for work. Let's see, Wednesdays at let's say 6:30 at the latest. Let's start like 6:30, 6 o'clock, 6:30 between there. Because I know like Yana at your job it ends up starting to get a little dead around that time. Um, so we think like 6:30 every Wednesday. I want to get yes from everybody. So latest, let me see. I know we all agreed on Wednesday. I'm gonna make sure I add this to the Quasar calendar because it's on the wrong calendar. Okay, Wednesday, 6:30. Okay, hold on. Oh no, change that. Boom. There we go. Okay. Because I just want to get more consistent, but y'all gonna have to make sure that I have topics to discuss. So my little moderators, I'm going to leave that as a little task to y'all. Mario, since you're here, like you too, because we're gonna have to have stuff to discuss. You know, I usually have stuff written down, but sometimes I don't. So if I've already talked about it, because we never know how the lives are gonna go. Okay. So go live. I'm writing it down right now. 6 or 6:30. So I'll just put 6 p.m. for now, and then I'll start. Oh, your name is Max. Okay, cool, Max. All right then. Okay, and I'll put it to like maybe 8 or something like that. Well, you know, we always swing it depending on how it's gonna go. All right, and we're going to repeat this every week, and if something changes, then I'll just let y'all know from there because it can go week by week or whatever the hell. And how about this? I feel like if let me see, if Wednesday doesn't work out, then I'll probably do a Friday at 8. What do we think about that? Friday at 8. What we thinking about a Friday if I don't make the Wednesday? What do we think about that? You don't gotta donate, Mario. You don't gotta do nothing. We just all vibing. Commenting is good enough for me. If y'all can give, I appreciate it always, but y'all don't have to do none of that. It's Fridays at 8. Yada Bean, I think you had said earlier I think you had said earlier Fridays. Trying to find it. Trying to find it. Usually free Fridays. Wednesdays you work at 8. Okay. But Fridays are good. So how about between like maybe 7, 8 at the latest on a Friday if I miss a Wednesday. I'm just waiting on y'all to kind of confirm. Thanks, Izzy. Y'all don't have to for real. Y'all just being here is everything to me. Usually on Fridays, so anytime. Okay, so then probably like and do 8. That sounds pretty. I think. Yeah, I think that that's better. So maybe 7 or 8 p.m. on Friday. So if I miss our 6:30, and I will make a post, just looking out on the post, which I know that y'all always do. Look out for a post. If I'm gonna miss it on Wednesday, I will let y'all know, and then we'll do Friday around like 7 or 8 p.m. In between that time, no later than 8, because I don't like y'all being up with me until midnight. Even though I don't mind, y'all know I can yap forever and ever. But I don't like to keep us on for too long because we have lives, we have things to do. We know we got sleep, we got games, we got things. You know what I'm saying? Okay, okay. I'm gonna let y'all pick the topic that I discussed today because I want this to kind of be a little bit more interactive, and I am a little bit more loungy today because I'm kind of like it's weird. Okay, I'm gonna let y'all pick between 3 different categories. Okay, because I have a few things that I was brought on to last week, and so I was like, yeah, I gotta write this down. Okay, so number 1, we're gonna do moms' lives after kids. I want to highlight that. Having childlike conversations in a room full of adults, or addressing the fat phobia issue that we have in this country. I'm gonna let y'all choose between 1, 2, and 3. Moms having lives after kids is number 1. Having childlike conversations in a room full of adults, number 2. And then fat phobia in America, and really everywhere, is number 3. Mario, Silly Billy, well, Sunray is Silly Billy. Sunray responded to you a little bit ago. She said something. When you had said you was gonna stay up or something, she responded to you. Yana's not as much as a chatter. She's like she pops in and then you'll see her like blocking people, but like Silly Billy with your Sunray is usually one that like chats and stuff. So don't feel too bad. They probably are just like she's probably running around. As you probably didn't see the message earlier, she has a almost 2-year-old, and if you don't know anything about toddlers, they're all over the place. Yeah. If you don't know anything about toddlers, as somebody who had to babysit a lot as a child, toddlers are a lot. For real, for real, for real. Okay. I'll give y'all like 30 more seconds and then I'm just gonna choose. I'm just gonna choose one of the topics because I got 3 different ones. So yeah, and I might just cover all 3 to be completely honest with you. Let's see, 10 more seconds. And then I'm just gonna choose. So topics again, moms having lives after kids. That's number 1. Number 2 is having childlike conversations in a room full of adults. And then number 3 was addressing the fat phobic issue in the world, really. And yes, boys are usually way worse than girls. When I used to be babysitting my little cousins, they're all kind of close in age. The boys were always like crazy. I couldn't leave them alone for 2 seconds. Anytime that I would look away, they're doing something. They're doing something wild. Like literally 2 seconds. And like, how are you jumping off the bed? How did you get outside with a branch? What are you doing? But their little sister, I would have to go and check on her to make sure she's alive because she will be quiet for like an hour. And I'd be like, hey girl, hey, what you doing? And she'd be like, nothing, just reading my little thing or playing my little game. But little girls, for some reason, most of them, they'll just sit. They'll sit and chill and mind their business. They'll just be in their own little space, in their own little world. So that's something I've noticed. Okay, number 2. Okay, number 2 okay. Hello. Oh, we do swear up in here, Mario. I don't know. I mean, I'm an avid swearer. May as well be a sailor. Okay, let's do number 2. Okay, I wanted to talk about this for a long ass time because it's been pissing me off. something that I did not understand when I worked like heavily, like I didn't work super big in corporate, but I was involved with the corporate space a lot. I don't understand the need for us to kind of like tiptoe and act weird around room in a room full of adult people. Like why are we doing certain things or behaving in certain ways when we're all grown here? Let me see. She's gonna go on a tangent. Yes, yes, I'm gonna go on a tangent. You already know me. I'm gonna go on a tangent all day. Never mind. We love the tangents. Yes. Okay. So basically, what I mean by that is like, for one thing that I noticed is that, like, say for instance, there's like a person who's being intentionally rude, right? So let me see. There was a video I had watched the other day of a lady where basically she was a black lady and this guy who was talking to her was a white man, and he basically asked her if she was dressed up like a single mom for Halloween. And so she responded and said, "No, I'm dressed up as the girlfriend of a recently divorced man." The white guy was getting divorced. So I was like, "Oh no!" She said that she was the girlfriend of the lawyer. She was the girlfriend of the lawyer of the wife who was divorcing her husband. That's what she said. I am the girlfriend of the lawyer who's helping the wife get divorced from her husband, and he got upset and reported her to HR. Okay, and basically HR, who child, HR, um, okay, Maria, I don't know what to say to that, but basically, HR told her, they were like, "Oh, well, how about this? Every single time that he says something that may come off as rude or offensive, you just say, 'Uh-oh, no, we're not going to do that.'" Uh-oh. Uh-oh. This lady looked to be in her late 30s, maybe mid to late 30s, maybe early 40s, but she's a grown woman. And this man is a grown man. Every single time that he says, every time that he says something offensive, she's going to say, "Uh-oh." No. Same thing with when I was working in corporate. One thing that had really irritated me is that we had did this big like software transition. Y'all know y'all know the story. Huge software transition for those who are new. And basically, to basically cut it short, the corporate didn't know what they were doing. Okay. They didn't get trained for this transition for this new software until like 3 months after they installed it. So we were asking a shitload of questions. We were just like, "Okay, how do we do this? How do we fix this? How do we?" And they didn't know. We were running around like chickens with our head cuts off, trying to fix every little baby problem. It made our work hell, right? One of the things is that they had to do, because I used to work in real estate. One of the things that they had to do was like put these apartments in like these things called holding units, where basically where somebody would be able to apply for a unit that wasn't technically available until next year, right? One time we had a house that was going to be going to like this big group of girls, right? But they could not find the application, or we couldn't find the application for this house. So we're telling corporate, we're just like, "Hey, we don't see the parts for the house. We don't know what's going on. The application is weird." I personally went and looked through the list, took a screenshot showing that the house was not listed or available for the people to apply. Sent it to our little development software girl, right? And I was gonna call her liar, right? Sent the screenshot showing that it wasn't there. Sent the email saying, "Hey, we're trying to get them to apply and it's not here. Here's a screenshot. You can see that image below. It's not available. Could you please add it?" She then goes back in, adds the house, and then comes back with the screenshot and says, "Huh, that's strange. It's right here. I can see it on my end." Mind y'all, I scrolled all the way to the bottom. The building that was already there, her screenshot, it was added underneath the screenshot that I had sent. It was added. So I'm like, did you just straight up lie to my face? After showing you photo evidence, you ended up lying to my face and saying that it was there the whole time. Why couldn't you just own up to it like a grown woman and say, oh yeah, I forgot it. I just added it. Go right ahead. And the thing is like, you can't outright just say you're a liar. You're being dishonest. Because now they're going to sit there and say, oh, let's keep it professional. Let's not be mean to one another. That's not being mean. We're having an adult conversation. Oh, don't be aggressive. How am I being aggressive? I sent you photo evidence that you did not add it, that it was not there. Now, mind you, this was a house that had like 6 or 7 rooms. And mind you, we were in like college housing. So we had the students and their parents also trying to apply at the same time, because these kids didn't have college, they didn't have no credit, they didn't have no money. So their parents were going to be the ones who were going to be fitting the bill for the houses, right? So they had to apply along with the kids, right? Along with the students, because they're not kids, they're really adults, the young people. So you're talking about a group of 7 girls and their parents. We're talking about 14 people. Almost all of them had married parents. So you're telling me for at least 14 people, sorry, 21 people, at least 14 people, at least 14 people have all reviewed the same problem, and then including myself. And you're sitting here and telling me that it was there the whole time, and you're seeing it on your end. But if I call you dishonest, now I'm being mean and aggressive. Oh well, Taylor, she yeah, I'm gonna call her by her name. Taylor doesn't, she sometimes she's just like that. No. Why are we coddling such behavior in a room full of adults? Why are we telling people to say uh-oh when you say something offensive and you a grown ass man? Literally, my old boss, she had got upset because she was causing a problem in the office. This is all the same company, by the way. I'm gonna read y'all messages. I don't want to forget my thought. I'm gonna read y'all messages though. She was causing a problem in the office. And basically she had got into it with, y'all know Christian. Got into it with, if you don't know Christian, he was my old coworker and then he became my boss eventually. But basically she had got into it. This is before I got there. Got into it with him. Ended up being a big meeting. Their boss, her name was, what the fuck was her damn name? I forgot her name. I'm just gonna call her M. They end up getting into having a big meeting with M, and basically, that's what ended up happening. Basically, our maintenance guy and Christian were having like a cute little funny moment, right? They had a previous boss who was a terrible guy. His name was Sean. Didn't work. Was a terrible, terrible dude. Basically, the maintenance guy and Christian jokingly said to, I'm gonna call her Crazy because her real name is just not as funny. End up saying to Crazy, hey Crazy, that's your guy, that's your friend, because she was Instagram friends with this old boss. But they were joking, saying that that's your friend. She went off. She was so mad, she made it this big spectacle. And basically, the new boss, M, she had basically called a meeting together with the maintenance guy and Christian and Crazy. And they all started talking. And basically, M was like, okay, guys, let's go around the room and all talk about what we like and what we dislike about each other. Christian specifically went to our maintenance guy and was just like, okay, I'm going to start with him first because I'm already knowing it's going to be a problem. He started with the maintenance guy first. It was just like, oh, okay, I feel like you can get things done faster. Boom. But I also like how hard you guys work. Boom. Right? Then to the maintenance, that was her name. Muskan was her name. Boom. I had it in my brain. He said to Muskan, I feel like you could be a little bit more assertive, but I like the way that you get things done in a certain way, da, 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 da. When he tried to get to Crazy, Crazy stood up and was just like, no, I'm not doing this. This is ridiculous. I'm going to leave right now, or I'm going to basically say some things that I'm going to later on regret, or I'm going to do something I'm going to later on regret. And she stormed out. After she was the one who started this whole altercation because she got pissed off that they said that she was Sean's friend. They're having this whole meeting because of her. She leaves halfway through the work day, just because Christian was going to confront her about what he doesn't like that she does. Sent an email to corporate, basically saying, I can't do this. I'm being mistreated, whatever. I'm taking the rest of the day off because I just can't handle this. Corporate had to get involved. Basically told Christian, don't talk to her. Don't joke with her. Just keep everything strictly professional. Don't even play any games with her. Why are we coddling that type of behavior? Why are we condoning that type of behavior? I don't understand it personally. Thanks, Leo. Sorry. Sylvia, leave it at you better stop. You better stop hyping me up. Yes, a complete liar. You said 67, but I'm gonna talk about it. Oh my god, please don't mention that stupid shit in here. Hell no. That remind me so yeah. Hold on. Oh my god. So I'm like, y'all condone this where y'all came together and you're telling each other, just don't talk to each other, don't joke, don't. This woman's almost 30. Left halfway through the day because she couldn't be confronted about her attitude in the office because they said a joke about her being friends with the old bad boss because she's friends with him on Instagram. What are we doing? And they try to mark you as being aggressive. They try to mark you as being weird. They try to mark you as being unprofessional when you call it out, when you're direct. I had a situation where, same place. Yeah. She was almost 30, acting like this. Same thing. A boss who was like second in command to the CEO for the smaller company I worked for. So basically, there was a parent company, and then there's like the sister companies under the parent company. If you don't know what a parent company is, think about it as like an umbrella. The parent company is the one that owns or has a part in all the smaller companies. Okay, and they kind of follow the parent company's rules. I worked for one of the sister companies under the parent company, which was like the residential side of real estate. Okay, the second in command to the CEO of this real estate, the residential real estate business I work for, basically me and her always got into it because she had a bad way of speaking to people. She didn't know how to basically talk to people in the correct way. And the thing about me is I have no problem being reprimanded. I have no problem being told, hey, you need to fix this, do that, da 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 da. But don't say it in a way that comes off as disrespectful. Because if you're not saying it in a way that I can just adhere to it and correct the behavior, now me and you gonna have a problem. She had that bad. So basically, one time, I was already over her fucking shit because of the way that she was talking to me sideways. And this woman is well in her 30s at this point. By the way, this second in command. She basically had was like being rude to me the whole time because she was basically saying, oh, she was questioning my work ethic and was like, what are you doing all day? What are you working on all day that you can't do XYZ? And I'm like, you want me to send you an entire list of what I do all day? Okay. I said, whatever. But she ended up wanting to have like her underling come to our office and work on some stuff, help us with some stuff or whatever. Even though they were refusing to acknowledge that the whole reason why we looked sloppy was because they were ill prepared for the software transition. They took absolutely no onus whatsoever. And so she literally was like, oh, well, our girl's going to come down and, help you guys. Can you train her or tell her what she needs to be doing? And I basically said, you want me to take time out of my day to go through this whole list of her and give her a whole breakdown of what she needs to do? That's what you want me to do when I'm already drowning as it is because of the bullshit that y'all pulled. And I didn't say it like that, but I literally was just like, did you really want me to take time out of my day to sit back and basically train her on what she needs to do? And she basically literally said, y'all, she was like and this is her words. These are her words. Well, yeah, but if it's a problem, then I can just do it myself. Because basically what ended up happening is I had typed to her. I was like, oh, you want me to do this, this, and this? And I had put 2 periods on accident. I put 2 periods. I was supposed to put 1, but I guess I double clicked 2 periods and sent it. And she was just like, if there's a problem, then I can just do it myself. Because she was like, what's the dot for? I was like, it was a typo. It was a typo. But okay, there's no problem. I can show her whatever the fuck you need me to show her. And here comes Christian, because he's elevated to my boss at this point. He was just like, guys, we gotta talk to corporate nice. And no, absolutely not. Your tone did not come off as respectful. So why do I have to be respectful towards you? I'm not about to sit here and fake smile and pretend. Like, what are we doing? Why are we playing some weird ass fucking game of who can be the fakest? So like I just don't fucking get it. Like when I say I don't get it, I don't get it. And like maybe it's a neurodivergent thing. Because as a neurodivergent, there's a lot of social things that we do that I just don't fucking get them. I really just don't. Why can't I just outright say you did this wrong? Or outright say you're being dishonest? Or outright say I didn't like your tone? Why can't we just address it and get it over with like we're fucking adults? Like I don't I don't personally understand it because I'm not immature. There's a way for you to be direct while not being rude. And it shouldn't be marked as unprofessional. We shouldn't have to carry ourselves around like we're toddlers. We're adults. Am I being crazy, y'all? Mario, are you really 10? So I'm like, I don't get why we're doing that. And as a 24-year-old now, it's just like I don't get it. And some of y'all are older than me. Throwing temper tantrums in the office, being dishonest because you don't want to look like a fool when you already look like a fool. And now you look like even a bigger fool for lying about it. Well, I don't know how a 10-year-old got into my life, but that's interesting. Um, if you are 10 for real though, Mario, I'm low key gonna have to remove you from the life. Like if you really are, I ain't gonna lie. Cause I talk to mostly adults. Bye. Um, but like yeah, I don't know. I don't. If you really are a kid, I really don't really talk to kids. I got the lowest I think that I would go for somebody to be a part of my audience is I would say maybe 17, maybe, but I think 18 and above is the only people I really like to be in alive. But whatever, can't control it. Um, but like, am I tripping? But I feel like that this is something that just never made any sense to me. Why are we tiptoeing around shit? Why can't we just be direct? And then people be like, oh well, you're causing a hostile work environment if I'm clear and direct. No, I'm not about to fake kiki and fake smile. Why are we doing that? Why are we doing that? And then why are we trying to push people to also participate in it? And then y'all say that that's being professional. It's not though. Especially when we're addressing the person who's responding versus the person who's causing the problem. Like, how is it my fault for responding to her the way she responded to me? She initiated the rudeness. She initiated the tone. I just reciprocated the tone. And now all of a sudden I have to tiptoe and smile and fake as if she wasn't just directly rude to me. I don't get that personally. I think that shit is stupid as hell. And I don't think that it's marking you as being professional. I don't think that has anything to do with personal. As a matter of fact, I think it's childish. Very unprofessional. Very immature. Because why are we pretending as if shit is not happening? As y'all know, crazy. When it came down to Christian, too. Like, I remember that time I think I had told y'all about when me and Christian were having a conversation. Literally, face-to-face conversation. We are locked in. Full-blown conversation. And she literally, crazy, came out of her office and stepped directly in between me and Christian, directly in front of us, blocking me and him from seeing each other, and said, do you have tours today? He tilted his head over and I'm tilting my head over because we're just like, bitch, did you not just sit here and act like you didn't see us having a whole conversation? I go over after that, maybe a day later, and I address her. And I was just like, what you did the other day was very rude. Extremely rude. I don't care if you felt left out. I don't know what it was, but what you did was very rude and very disrespectful. And you know that it wasn't right. Oh, I didn't know that you guys were having a conversation. Seriously, I just walked out. Your office is not even 7 feet away from us. Your office is over there and the door was not closed. We're having a full, what you think we talking to ourselves? We just talking to our imaginary friends while also responding to the same questions that the other is asking. We're just talking to ourselves, facing one another. In the middle of a sentence, you step right in the middle of it, and you're gonna sit here and try to make it seem like I'm Boo Boo the fucking fool, like I was born yesterday, and go say you didn't know we were having a conversation. I said, you know what? It doesn't matter what you say. I know what you did. Don't let it happen again. And that's not me being unprofessional. I'm being direct. So you're under hot water and you don't know how to handle it. So now you're trying to say that I'm being mean to you, and that's not being mean. What you did was mean. I just don't. What are we talking about? Like, what? And then you're reporting me to HR because I don't want to talk to you about your dog. Oh, you're ignoring me because I look at a picture of your dog and I'm just like, oh, that's nice. And now you're asking me about my life and I'm giving you nothing. And now all of a sudden I'm being mean to you when you're rude every single day. And now you want me to sit here and fake and kiki and smile with you because you had a little temper tantrum the other day. And now you think we're all kumbaya and cool. No, that's not how accountability works. That's not how relationships work. That's not how adulting works. That's not how communication works. You don't get to just go throw a tantrum and then think that people are going to go back to how it was before you threw your tantrum. That is not how you be an adult. But this is the type of mess that I recognize and look into. And I'm just like, why can't you just be direct? It's the same thing with like when you're working in customer service. Why am I talking to a customer like they're 5 years old? When I used to work in retail, you know how to read, correct? You have to know how to read because you walked in here and you knew it was Forever 21 when you walked in. So if that being said, you knew to read the Forever 21 sign. You knew that this item was past the return date. Because you can read. Okay? You know it's 30 days. If you bought this on October 1st and it's November 27th, you know it's past 30 days. Why am I having to talk to you like this? And yes, I understand. And we are adults. The return policy was told to you, and even if it wasn't, it's on the receipt for you to read. You have the receipt in your hand. You see the due date, you see it's past that date. We cannot return the item. Why am I talking to you like you slow? Some things that I heard, I had, oh my God, I saw a post on TikTok that was like a person was like, oh, the prompt was, tell me the craziest story that you ever had from a customer or whatever. And the stories would have blown y'all mind. Somebody was like, is there chicken in the chicken Caesar salad? What do you think? What do you think? Do you think that there's chicken in the chicken Caesar salad? Like, I'm not really understanding. You call, are you open? I'm not sure if you know any business that answers the phone if they're closed. Like, why are we trying to have adult? To me, it's just like, are we talking to a whole bunch of toddlers? What is going on? Like, this is how we would talk to kids, correct? And I get now this de-escalated situations and making sure that we're not, egging on the issue or, coming in with a certain tone. I appreciate that. I can understand that because you don't want to escalate the situation. You don't want to make it worse, right? You're trying to de-escalate. That's your job. You're trying to make it better. That's your job. But there are certain things that we shouldn't just be allowing. Like I saw one story, that a lady was like, oh, let's do a buy one, get one free. She bought one item, got the other one for free. Now she wants to return the bought item. What? Oh, yes, I can get them both for free. and I feel like this type of coddling is ruining us as a people. Somebody I like to follow, her name is Cupid. I think I talked about her before. She's just like, oh, everybody has to play the game. But why? But why? I get, stroking people's egos and whatnot and what have you. But why are we pretending like people are working when they're not? You have someone who shows up late, who knows they did not get this project done beforehand, and you're trying to sit here and tell me that we have to sit here and act as if it's not that person's fault for them not having something done, but the underling's fault? And you don't want to call them out because they're your friend? Are we adults? Are we adults? Like, it's something that I definitely, when I have my own business, I'm not going to allow. I'm not going to allow it. We're not doing the lying. We're not doing the persuading. We're not doing the faking. You don't have to love everybody that you work with. You don't even have to like them. But you can respect them without pretending to give a fuck about their weekend. You can be introverted without having to spread your whole life story and still be considered a cool person. You can own up to the fact that you made a mistake so you can correct it and move on. Sitting here and pretending as if you never made a mistake in the first place so you don't look bad when everybody knows that you made the mistake, this makes you look even more stupid. Like, I really, really, really don't fucking get it. Like really. I respect you more when you're honest versus when you're lying. And everybody just treats it like it's fucking normal. And it's not. It's weird. It's weird. And it's immature and it's childish. And I don't want to play. I don't like this game. I'm going to be the type of boss where I'm going to be like, no, let's lay it out on the table. If you don't know how to properly express yourself without coming off as rude or whatever, then talk to me and then we can figure out a way for you to properly communicate. But we're not about to sit around and pretend and fake. You shouldn't be having a whole boohoo cry session in the fucking class, in the fucking office, because the owners don't appreciate you. You're boohoo crying on a fucking live chat because the owners don't appreciate you. And listen, I get everybody wanting to be appreciated for their work, okay? But you're mad that or crying because they're not saying woohoo, good job. The way you're crying like crazy, she was crying to our CEO and his second in command on the phone, literally sobbing because she was like, they're so mean to me and they're not. All these people will say is, okay, thanks for letting us know, and they will move on. And you're crying? Saying that they're mean to you? Because they're not like, good job, crazy, we're so proud of you. Oh my God, let's get her a cookie. Let's get her her blanket. And let's put her on her bed and give her pets and tell her how much of a good girl she is. So you're crying over that? Certain behaviors. Like, me as a boss, I'd have been like, okay, there's no reason for us to be crying. If you're feeling underappreciated, let's discuss that. Let's focus on that. What about being underappreciated are you experiencing exactly? So we can address it and potentially move on. Because if there are certain things that you have expectations for, you may need to lower your expectations when it comes out to gratitude. If you're expecting a good job and a woohoo every single time, a big celebration, every single time that you do your job, well, that's a different type of thing. But if we're showing you through bonuses, if we're showing you through, like, one of the things that the job used to do was like, we used to have like these little conferences where they would basically update us about new things. We'll have chances to ask questions. And like they would give us like merch and stuff like that. There was like times where they would do like little appreciation things, and then they would pay for us to go to a restaurant called Lucky's or something like that. Pay for the drinks, pay for the food, and we was in that motherfucker vibing. Like, they do little things like that. And they will tell you at the end of the quarter, we appreciate you guys. You guys are working hard. Yada, da, da. What more do you want? Like, what more do you want? And of course, company can always do more. But you're sitting over here expecting these people to, you know what I'm saying? Hi, terrible driver. You're expecting these people to roll out the red carpet. And it's just like, Why are you having a breakdown over something so small? I just that type of thing. There's gonna be a lot of things, a lot of things that I'll actually talk to y'all about this right now, so I can make a freaking footnote. Um, Basically, one of the things that I want to do when I'm a boss is not only just keep up with honesty and making sure that everybody knows how to properly communicate, but also making sure that my employees feel extremely supported. And one of the ways I'm going to do that is I'm going to introduce something called menstrual days, which I have yet to see any company offer anywhere. Where basically they're not going to be buildable, but they're going to be like recurring days, 2 days out the month for the people who have uterus to be able to take off work. And to combat that, if need be, I'm probably gonna have like these like filler roles where I basically pay somebody to pick up other people's shifts so people are not lacking. Kind of like a little floater. It's gonna be around to have an open schedule. Things of that nature. So those are just a few things that I want to implement because as somebody who grew up with terrible menstrual problems, it's a lineage thing. Like my mom, my grandma, like my I don't know if my great grandmother did it, but my grandma and my mama got her uterus removed, and my mama had a full hysterectomy. My grandma had a partial hysterectomy because the periods are that bad, and it'll be to a point where you just can't work or can't do anything, and they're just like, oh, you're trying to call out on purpose. No, no, but my body is literally fighting against me, and if I don't sit the hell down, she's gonna sit me down. Right? So things like that. It's a lot of things that are wrong with a lot of people's business models and the way that they follow things, and I just think that it can be extremely corrected. Same thing when it comes down to businesses and not like properly teaching their workers customer service. There's no reason why a customer should be coming inside my building and talking to my cashier and they're having an issue on their first fucking visit. Huh? One thing I don't want to ever hear is, oh, she was rude or he was rude. Timeliness also matters. Things of that nature. And like I feel like it all comes down to making sure that you have the proper training. But what I feel like is that these companies don't be wanting to put in the leg work. They don't want to be putting in the extra training and the extra money or whatever the hell to make sure that they provide excellence. But that's something that I'm going to be expecting. Number one was starting off how to properly talk to one another. And certain things are not going to slide. If you're being rude, if you're saying something disrespectful to your coworker, if you're leaving subliminals, you're trying to be funny, you will be addressed. Because there's no reason why we're having childlike conversations in a room full of adults. I'm just fucking over it. And I know that I'm not the only person who's experienced this. Like, it's not even just in a corporate space, it's in any space. Same thing with the weird thing with favoritism and shit like that. Like, what are we doing? And that's why people be saying, like, literally, these people just grow up and you're getting older, but you're not growing up mentally. It's like you're dealing with a 37-year-old, 14-year-old. How are you acting 14, but you're 37? I hurt your feelings because I told you that you did something incorrectly. Like, you're having a breakdown because I won't tell you about my weekend. You're reporting me to HR for ruining the team morale, even though you've been rude to me several times and now I don't feel comfortable talking to you about anything outside of work. Now all of a sudden I'm the problem. And this has been something that I've been hearing for a while, especially when it comes down to black women. Because it's always that angry black woman thing. And to be honest, that's a trope that that's a stereotype I'm never going to beat. And I'm not going to sit around trying to beat it, to be completely honest with you, because I just don't care. If you think that I'm angry, fine. Hold on, y'all. I got to read something. Hold on. I'll respond to her later. Sorry. Somebody had messaged me. You good, Silly Billy? I'm just over here chatting about communications and stuff. And so I just feel like it would just make such a better work environment. And that's something that also weirds me out. Like, I don't understand why businesses are not more so worried about retention. Because to me, being in multiple industries and experiencing multiple different sides of each coins, like, um, yeah, I got my little clip on, like, um, basically being in multiple industries and just basically being on multiple different levels and multiple different places, like I find it so annoying that companies don't care more about retention because every business person knows, even when I'm owning a business, I've had a few business ventures here and there. Retention is way less expensive than getting something new. Okay? That's for anything. Okay? Even including not even just people, just products and services or whatever. Like holding on to something costs way less money than having to buy something, get something new. And that works for getting a new employee. So why the fuck do y'all not be wanting to hold on to the employees that you already have? You'll lose a great worker who's on time, who's always there with their deliverables, always, you know what I'm saying, providing a good customer service, and y'all don't want to hold on to that? Like, y'all just don't care, even though you know it's gonna cost you way more money in marketing. And I think I touched based on this a little bit on my last live. Way more money in marketing, way more money in basically their salary, because when you get a new employee, they have higher expectations. Like all this stuff. Why would you not want to like keep that? Especially if your business is doing well with a certain team. I know y'all see the numbers. Like, as somebody who got to study the numbers, who got to look at the charts, who got to pay attention to how they tread every single month. You want to hold on to that. Same thing with a fucking tenant. You don't want to keep the tenant that you already had that's paying. Like, it just, it makes no sense to me. So I know that when I start my business, there's going to be a lot of things that I'm not going to do. And having these childish ass shit is going to be number one. Number one, because it makes absolutely no sense why we're doing this as adults. Passing off from that topic, I wanted to cover, because I had heard this in one of the podcasts I follow called the Viral Podcast. It's crazy. Them girls are hilarious to me though. It's moms having lives after kids. Something that I've been hearing that's been really annoying, and basically what triggered this was like on the Viral Podcast, they had people call in, and this woman basically was saying that she feels guilt because she's going on a cruise and she's not bringing her children. Okay, so she's going to be gone for a while. She's going to go on a trip or whatever. She's going to be gone. And she's like, I feel guilty because I feel like I'm like leaving them or abandoning my mom duties or whatever. And something that I've been finding annoying is that I've been hearing people say that basically once you become a mom, your life is over. Once you leave and, you know, go and have kids, well, that's it. Now you're a mom. You can't do this. You can't do that. And honestly, I say, fuck that. I am so freaking sorry. Like, having kids doesn't mean that your life stops. Bitch, I'm still alive. I'm still very much alive. I'm still moving. I'm still kicking. I'm still going. So why is it that I don't get to go and have fun? Get to experience. Get to go live life. Oh, you can't go out with your friends. Oh, you can't go on vacation. Oh, you can't wear that. Why not? And then are the people who be feeling like, you know, guilt behind going and experiencing things on your own and living your life as your own as a mom. For those who feel that way, those kids will be fine, I assure you. I assure you. When they're smaller, it may seem like they're going to, oh my God, be all up in arms. They're going to be so brokenhearted and they're going to be so terrible to the child. They will be fine. And it's something that I feel like a lot of people don't acknowledge because they don't really look at the developmental stages of a child. And it's usually people who are ignorant, who are saying stupid shit like this. But like, for the educated, for the observers out there, children cry and whine about everything. Here's the reason why I hate when people get upset when people's babies are crying, right? Like, I get, like, if you want the baby to stop crying because you're overstimulated or whatever. But, like, if you hear a baby crying, just because a baby is crying doesn't mean that there's always something wrong with them, right? Because the only way they know how to communicate is through crying. They can be crying because they're cold. They can be crying because they're hot. They can be crying because they don't see you. They can be crying because they don't want to be in this bouncy. They can be crying because they're staring at the wall. They can be crying because they don't like the thing that they're watching. They can be crying because they're hungry. They can be crying because they're hurt. They can be crying just to make a noise because that's the only noise they know. Babies That's the only communication they have. So just because they're crying doesn't mean that I'm doing something to them or something is wrong with them. Same thing goes with children that are older than just a baby. Change is hard for kids. Change is hard for anybody, really, but especially for children because they don't understand the world yet. They don't understand the world that's going on around them. So everything is scary. Anything new is scary. One of the best examples was I was watching Orange is the New Black a few weeks ago, and one of the episodes, one of the inmates' daughters, she basically took her to like a summer camp. And she dropped her off at the summer camp and she was crying and screaming for her mom and all this extra stuff. And she was like, I don't know anybody, don't leave me. And da, da, da. She was crying. And the mom, she got in the car, she drove off. Child, she came back after like, I think 2 weeks. She came back. She didn't even recognize her daughter. She didn't recognize her. The girl didn't even want to go. She made friends. She was having fun. Girl, she was happy to see her mama at the exact same time. She was having a good time at camp. That is a beautiful example of what it's like to be a kid. To her, her mother's not around anymore. She's being around people that she don't know. She's in a new environment. The world is ending because what she's used to is not what's happening right now. So she feels like her world is turning upside down and all around town. And so she's going to freak out right now. Give her some time. She's going to adjust. And the next thing you know, the new thing is not that scary anymore. Somebody might look at that and think, oh, you're a bad mom because you're leaving her there while she's crying and whining. Baby, she's going to be crying and whining throughout her life. Anytime you have to take on a new venture, anytime you got to take on a new risk, you try something new in your life, it's always going to be nerve-wracking. It's always going to be stressful. That shit don't stop after you become an adult. As a matter of fact, it becomes worse. Because as an adult, the stakes are high. When you're a kid, you can kind of fuck around because you got somebody to come and catch you, somebody to catch you when you fall, your parent. When you become an adult, when you take risks, when you try something new, when you go after something that you really want, that shit is scary because you're usually standing alone. You ain't got nobody there to catch you when you fall. And so it irritates me when people try to make it seem like moms are bad moms because they want to have a life. They want to do things. They want to experience things. So what? Drop that kid off at that daycare. Do that overnight daycare for 2 days. Leave them with a family member. Pay them for a few days while you go out and experience life. Even if you just want to have a day to yourself. You at home, you resting. You resting. You got your little cocoa. You got your fuzzy socks on. You chilling. Even when you have stuff like that, you just want a day of alone time, an hour of alone time. You're entitled to that. Your life does not stop just because you have kids. Those kids, yes, they become priority, but they don't become your entire life. You still have a right to life outside of that. And those kids will be fine. They will be fine. Just thinking about me as a kid. I remember one of the biggest things my mom had did. She went like on this Jamaican honeymoon or whatever the hell. Hey, daddy. She went on this Jamaican thing, whatever, something for her honeymoon with her ex-husband. And we was just like, oh my gosh, mom, like, oh, we're gonna miss you. We were sad or whatever because my mom, she was very present, so we didn't really experience her being gone very often. And so, because honestly, my mom was like a stay-at-home mom most of our life, and so we were used to her not being there. And so her saying she gonna be gone for like 10 days or whatever. We're like, what you talking about, girl? I'm like, hey, this is the end of the world. It's Armageddon. But literally a few days went by and I can't really use myself as an example because, ADHD, object permanence be kicking my ass every day, kicking my butt from north to south. Okay. And so literally my mom came back like after a few days. We was like, oh my God, we miss our mom so much. But then day 10 rolled around. She come back and we're just like, hey, mama girl. Hey, girl. Girl, we forgot you was gone, girl. I'm not gonna lie. We forgot you was gone, girl. That's crazy. But as a kid, we thought it was just the end of the world. We're never going to see our mother again. Oh my God, she's got... And then she's fine. We're fine. It's fine. And when you look at that, I'm alive. When you look at that, I'm fine. That happens every single day. You're not going to be able to be with your children all the time. And you don't need to feel guilty because she was feeling so guilty, this lady. You don't need to feel guilty for wanting some fucking alone time. We all need alone time. And honestly, the older I get, the more I'm realizing, I thought that I was an extrovert my whole life, but I really am extremely introverted. And I be realizing I am an ambivert, which is that's the mixture between like extrovert and introvert. I am an ambivert, but at first I thought it was like a 60-40 or maybe even a 50-50 extrovert introvert. Or I thought it was 60% extrovert and 40% introvert. But the older that I get, the more I realize actually it's the flip. I'm more of an introvert than I realized. When I go out to a social event, when I hang out with people or whatever, going into a new environment, whatever, I need time. I need a break. Okay? If I spend a few days with somebody, I need a few weeks off from going out again. You know what I'm saying? I need time. And having a kid doesn't change that. Hold on. There's so much just so hard being a person without parenthood. And I can imagine. And my mom too, something that she used to always tell us is that she was like, I wanted to experience living alone. I wanted to experience going out and doing things and all that stuff, but I became a mom. And especially with millennials and even the boomers and whatever, they get this societal pressure that what you mean you and your husband are going out on a solo date and not bringing your kids? What do you mean you're going on a vacation? What do you mean you want some me time? What do you mean you want to? What do you mean? What do they mean? And the thing that irritates me, here's the reason why I say that the pro-choicers are really the pro-lifers for real. Something that irritates me is that y'all are not realizing that, especially for moms, when the mother is taken care of specifically, because the dads are a different conversation, but when the mothers are taken care of, so are the children immediately. Automatically. Sorry, this raggedy ass beat up ass car is ruining my video. Automatically the children are taken care of. Because when a mom has a clear head, when the mom is happy, when the mom is taken care of, when she's comfortable, the children automatically receive that exact same treatment. When a mom is stressed out and overwhelmed and can't think straight, and the kids are going to see that. They're going to experience a little bit of that. Even if you're the best mom in the world, there's only so much you can take. So if the mom is saying, I need me some me time, I need some alone time, I need time to myself, that's not them being selfish. That's not them being neglectful. It's them being a person. And it's so weird to me that we have to put into perspective. Imagine if you never had a break from your job. Why do I have to tell you that? In order for you to get it. Because there's other children involved. Imagine if you were, as a teacher, you never got to go home. You never got to stop dealing with these kids every single time. You will lose your mind. Any job that you have, doctor, surgeon, lawyer, teacher, swim coach, janitor, security guard. Imagine if you never got a break from your job. You had to work from sun up to sundown every day, not a moment's rest. And then imagine if you had to babysit your job every single freaking day. You got to keep your eyes on them at all times. You can't eat, you can't shit, you can't sleep without observing. Imagine if you're an engineer and if you look away from this machine for 2 seconds, it's going to blow up on itself. Huh? Now you got all this anxiety. Now you got all this stress. Like, do you not realize how detrimental that is to the brain, to the body? You constantly living under this stress, constantly living under this anxiety. And I don't think that people recognize how much it takes to be a parent. Something that I recognized a few weeks ago was basically, how can I say this in the words I'm trying to say? The scariest part, I feel like that would be for a parent, which is a constant thing. And, for those of y'all who are parents, you could just, chime in and let me know if this is how you feel. But one thing that I feel like is one of the most exhausting things that probably most parents don't even recognize most of the time affects them is the constant fear of you knowing you can't protect your children all the time. That in and of itself has to be mentally exhausting, especially when they're not in your sight. Like, you have to put them in school or daycare. You have to run errands, so you're leaving them in the hands of a family member. Anything like that where you're not around. Or even when you go to like the kitchen. So you were just talking about this a little bit earlier. You go to the kitchen, you turn around for a second, and your kid jumps off the damn couch. What's going on here? The constant thought of, if I'm not watching them, something's going to happen. If they're not in arm's reach, something might happen. That shit can be detrimental to the brain. Because unfortunately, your children are vulnerable. They are. especially the younger they are. The younger they are, the more vulnerable they are. And you have to be their protection all the time. And that shit can be mentally draining. Even when you go and try to give yourself alone time or just go and do something for yourself, your kids are constantly on your mind because you're just like, okay, are they safe? Have they ate? Have they been fed? Are they okay? Look at it. Like, we can joke and laugh about it, but look at them doing stuff. You're gonna have to put pads all over the house. You're gonna have to put pads and pillows and cushions all over the house, literally everywhere. Cover all the corners. It's a lot, and like it's funny and it's fun in the moment, but at the exact same time, that stuff can be very, very stressful and hard on the nervous system. Even if it's lighthearted and fun, it can be a lot on the nervous system because your brain really kind of doesn't know the difference between like playing and real. Hence the reason why when we watch like scary movies and stuff, we still feel the same fear as if we were there. Even though we know it's a movie, even though we know it's fake, our brain doesn't know the difference. And oh, that has brought me up an idea. Write that down. Hold on. Oh yeah, I wrote that down. Great. It doesn't know the difference. And so you saying I need some alone time, I need a break or whatever from this, just somebody else to watch them, just so I can give my brain a moment of just that doesn't make you selfish. And you shouldn't feel guilty. You shouldn't feel brokenhearted about it. You shouldn't feel neglectful because you want a moment's rest, a moment's peace, a moment just to yourself. There ain't nothing wrong with that. Not a damn thing wrong with that. So if you are a parent or you about to become a parent, don't let people sit there and tell you, oh, you gonna have to, become like this or you become. Don't let somebody tell you that you don't get to have alone time or whatever. You deserve it all. You can have it all. It's none of their damn business. If them kids is fed, if they change, if they have somewhere to lay their head, they're fine. And if that baby is crying, oh well, let them cry. Best way to think about it like this: if they're crying, you know they're still alive. If they're crying, you know that they're alive. And at the end of the day, isn't that all that's worth it? Isn't that the whole point? Just to keep them alive. If they get through the next day, you did it. You're a champion. Superstar. But I want to leave you this with saying this though. Moms, dads too, if you constantly put your kids first without pouring anything into yourself, your children are going to eventually feel it. You need to take care of yourself. And in whichever way that looks, however that looks, you take care of yourself. And there's nothing wrong with wanting that, desiring that. There's nothing wrong with that. And if somebody is trying to tell you that, just tell them, oh, thanks. You know what I'm saying? Be like, hey, I have something inside of this. I got something inside this bag. Let me just get it out. Let me just get it out. Hold on. I gotta dig in and just like. Exactly. Movies, walks, restaurants, whatever. Do whatever the hell you want to do. Know that you deserve it. You have every single right to have it. And you're not selfish or neglectful because of it. You have to take care of yourself in order to properly take care of the children. You have to. Because if you're neglecting you, they're not going to say that you're necessarily going to neglect them. But kids observe a lot more than you think. Kids notice a lot more than you think. And if you can't show up for yourself, at some point, it's going to be very difficult for you to show up for them as well. Okay? So make sure you just dig in that bag. Okay? And hand them the fuck that you don't give. Shit. Okay? Tell them I ain't got two dams to rub together. You think that I'm a bad mom or whatever because I want to go have some alone time? I don't give a damn. Fuck you. What you gonna do? Okay. Exactly. But my loves, I will continue chatting on, but mama, it's that time of the month, so I am tired and my head is kind of hurting. So I'm going to check in with y'all on Wednesday, the week after next week, because this week is holiday week, and I hope that y'all have a wonderful Thanksgiving. I'm probably just gonna be sleeping the whole time because it's gonna be a lot going on. But hope that y'all have a wonderful Thanksgiving. I hope that y'all have some great food. And yeah, have some good times. Eat really good. Take some pics. You know, if y'all take some pics, tag me in on Instagram or whatever the hell. And I will see y'all on what day is this? I will see y'all on the 3rd of December, that Wednesday, between 6:30 ish, 6 o'clock. Okay. Love y'all very much. I'm about to go and probably go to sleep because mama is tired. Okay. Bye bye. Turn this thing off, film. I know y'all little messages come in a little bit late. So hopefully y'all can see me and whatnot. I don't want to miss anybody. Give y'all until like 17. Then I'ma pop it on off. Oh, don't close off on it. Close off on it. Oh, also, if anybody got a plate, Yana, you know what I'm saying? I will come over, swing over, and give me a little plate of Yana. You know what I'm saying? So I can eat. Because I'm not cooking anything probably until after Thanksgiving. Because Thanksgiving food is expensive. And plus, I want to throw these stores off a little bit. Because fuck them. You know what I'm saying? I ain't changed things that I know. Okay. Love y'all. Bye. Okay.